Hello and good morning. This is Janine Boland with Entrepreneurs HQ, also known as Open Friday Coffee. And we've been doing this for a couple years now. And I just wanted to say thank you for all of you who are on the call with us right now. Thank you for showing up, taking time out of your Friday to sip and have a hot beverage with us. And at the same time, I wanted to wrap up the end of the year of what's been going on with the 8 gates and what we're doing for next year. And so this is all because of you guys, and I didn't know how best to say thank you to everybody except just to do it this way. So, for starters, we have a poll that we're going to give you because you guys know that for the last 2 years, I have been doing what's called the 99 Authors Project. And this is what my publisher came up with. These are the four options of books that they offered. And so, I'm going to let you guys decide. Do you want option one, which we are calling green? And option two, we're calling it pink. Option three, pink and orange. Or option four, purple and white. I'm sorry, I said pink and orange. I meant purple and orange. Anyway, so we have a poll and you guys can say that. And if you can't find the poll because something's weird because I'm screen sharing and all that, just write it in the chat. Put it in the chat. We just want to know what you guys like about this. This book is going to be coming out at the end of January. That's right. So the end of January, you can see one of these versions will be coming out. And so I wanted you folks to kind of take a look at it, see which one you liked, tell us which one you like, and then I'd love to know why. Why do you like the one that you like? Okay. So when you finally get stuff down to, you've been playing with your graphic designers and your publisher for a while, and you finally are like, okay, we're down to these four after they came up with like, I think it was 10 or 15 different versions. We came down with these four. And so I'm just leaving it up to you guys to kind of help us out with that. So thank you very much. It took me most of the year to run the entrepreneurial conference. And if I didn't have the team of 8 people that helped me run this, it would not have happened at all. It was a monster of a summit. Because I had the 99 authors from the 99 Author Project, getting all of those speakers together and lining things up was quite intense. What ended up happening is we had a huge technical crash. So even though we had over 6,000 people hit the site, only 468 were able to sign up. So these sometimes happen with summits. And so I just wanted to let you know, I know our numbers are small, but when you look at all the things that went wrong, like it was every time we turned around, there was another technical problem. It was one of those things where, the fact that we got 468 people to actually sign up was great. So that happened. And then we had 35 speakers. We had 35 speakers across 13 time zones. That was the fun of it, trying to get everybody going with that. Poor Tasha, who is my right-hand woman. She was making phone calls and on WhatsApp the entire time trying to get people together. But this is my favorite part. We had a nonprofit we were supporting and we were able to give $565 to my nonprofit. And so that made it all worthwhile. So out of the 468 people who signed up, 281 opened their emails and we had 77 attend the day one. And then we had 122 people open their emails for day two, and then we had 66 of those people attend. Here is the team that showed up. We were doing the postmortem after the Entrepreneur Summit, and you very rarely get to see Lynette or Tasha. Lynette is the one in the lower right-hand corner. Tasha is directly below my blue headphones. And then you have Jeff Borshawa, who was one of our affiliates who did a lot of work to help us get links in. You know Sean, because he's the one that works in the chat. And then Brian Hyde is in the upper right-hand corner. And Brian is the one that if you have heard a male voice on anything of my audiobooks, my, my radio shows, intros, outros, that is Mr. Brian Hyde. He's been working with me for the last, and when we counted this, we were both scared. He's been working with me for the last 22 years. So Brian and I go way back. Now, one of the reasons I'm chatting with you about all of this is because I want to help you with your automation next year. As you know, with Open Friday Coffee, what do? We help business owners do what they need to do to get better. I've learned a lot about the automation and what goes wrong and what is fragile. And so if you want to start ramping up your business and scaling, I will be happy to chat with you a little bit here on Open Friday Coffee so we can teach everyone. what you need to work on. White Glove Broadcasting has been in business for the last 9 years. It is how we help other podcasters do things. We are a very expensive service, and so what I love doing here in Open Friday Coffee is helping my hobbyists and my just newbie podcasters get rolling. And we do that so that we teach you right off the bat, this is how you make money. Don't go into debt for your podcast. That's those sorts of things. This is why I do what I do. These are my 4 kids. We are known as the Flaming Shadow Bunnies. Can you tell that that team name was taken when we were quite young, when we were all younger, and we wanted bunnies, and somebody wanted ninjas, and another person said they wanted flames, and this is what we came up with for our team name. So if you ever see this, as us taking care of business. Okay. Also, for those of you who are going into the new year and you're either thinking about starting a business or you have a book or a podcast and you want to kind of define what your business model is going to be like, please ask. Sean has the link on Who is Your Boss. You want to read that through and you want to take the last 2 pages in that downloadable and you want to work through the questions. And I guarantee you that you will do much better in 2024 than 2023 by having that sort of thing. So that's a free downloadable. If you don't get it, so whatever. Oh, thank you, Rich. Go ahead, please, very much. Download it. Work the questions. You will be much better off. This is what started it all. I basically started a podcast. I've been in broadcasting since 1982, and I started this little video for YouTube called How to Get on a Podcast as an Author. And what I didn't know is at the time that I did this, there were zero, like I had never seen it happen before. I typed in, how do you get on podcast as an author into Google? Zero, zero results. This happened back in 2017. So that's when I started working with authors on how to get on podcasts. Now it's all the rage, and I love it that I'm now in the cool kid group and that we're doing things, but that's kind of how it all started with me and Entrepreneurs HQ. Go ahead, Sean.
You had mentioned a link for like a 1 to 2 page like freebie.
Yeah.
Where's that link located?
Okay, so we will catch you up on that after we get done recording. No problem.
F.
It will be in, hey, for those of you watching this on YouTube, it will be in the description for you. All right, so that's how this all started. Let's talk about this. This is what I really wanted to describe to you guys this morning. I've made a lot of mistakes in my business. I have made $15,000 mistakes. I've made $20,000 mistakes. And what I want to do is talk to you about how to make money in your business. So please kind of just bear with me as we talk about this. I'll scream through it pretty quick and we will give you free options on how to get this information. The biggest thing that helps you in your business to make money is events, especially if you are a book author, if you are a podcaster, your events are what going to drive the business model. How do you go about doing that? Some people are like, Janine, I don't like webinars. I never like attending webinars. I don't have any interest in webinars. Please realize webinars are perfect for people that don't know you. All right, webinars are for when you want to sell a high ticket item, such as a $10,000 coaching service or a $15,000 podcast service, like what I offer. This is high ticket items. You want people to get to know, like, and trust you. So you offer them an opportunity to come and just see what you can do for free. And you do a lot of talking about the program. You do a lot of talking about this is my testimonials and making people feel comfortable doing business with you. Please realize that's what a webinar is. What is a workshop? That's where you teach. A workshop is you don't sell, you teach. A webinar, you're teaching, but you're also selling. And everybody knows that, right? People know that when they go into a webinar, they know there's going to be a pitch at the end. So there's no, but if you're doing a workshop, please honor the industry. And that means I pay up front. I pay a price up front, but you don't sell to me at the end. Okay. And so that's kind of a way to kind of keep the lingo, which can be very confusing. So what we're going to talk about is the workshop. I made the most money this year by running my workshops. I was stunned. We were running workshops and I started collaborating with other business owners. I was talking to people who had only 55 people on their email list. They only had 275 people that they knew on Facebook. These were the levels of people that were able to make anywhere from $1,200 to $5,000 on workshops. Now, for a small business owner, that is a lot of money. Okay, you make $5,000 on a workshop. That makes like yoo-hoo, you're excited. So this is what I wanted to share with you. This is how you go about doing it. This is my gift. When I was talking to you guys on the email saying, I have a little gift from you. This is the gift. This is what I've learned. I run over 93 workshops now. I have made money on every single one. Okay. Made money. So I wanted to let you know these are the things you must do in your workshop, and this will make it successful. What is the number one problem you're going to solve? I have run a workshop where I said, when you have sound issues, this is what you do for your podcast. And I charged $37. And another thing is, the best thing to do is have a workshop that's 90 minutes long. There's something about having an hour and a half that is very helpful to people. So run your workshop for 90 minutes and solve only one problem. I had a workshop that a person charged $497 for, and I totally took that model and did the same thing. And I talked to people about how I would walk them through how to build their media kit, like literally step by step by step. And they would bring their head shots, they would bring all their own equipment and everything to it. I would set them up. I'm like, and in 90 minutes, you're going to have a media kit that you'll be able to have your sizzle reel, everything will be set up, and it will be ready for you to rock and roll as an author and a podcaster. So even if you're a business owner, do you have a media kit? If you don't, why are you shooting yourself in the foot? Okay. Have a media kit as a business owner. Have a media kit if you're an author. If you're a podcaster, have a media kit for when you go on to other podcasts. And we're going to talk about it with Jeff later, why a media kit is so important in helping you build that first book you've want to write. Okay. So that's one of the things we're going to discuss. All right. The other thing about your workshop is you want to be clear, you want to be concise, and you want to be laser focused. You're going to talk about one problem. You're going to talk about how to solve that one problem, and you're going to do it clearly, very quickly, and laser focused. People will try to send you into the weeds. And the thing is, just make sure you do what you promise in your messaging, that you will solve that one problem for them. You will give them your 90-minute solution in that workshop. The reason I love this so much is I started doing collaborations with people who didn't have very large email lists. And I'd say, okay, how about we do a workshop together? And so what I loved about it is they made money, I made money, and our clients were receiving, our attendees were receiving the information they need so they could be successful in their programs. So that was the win-win-win that I love. If I don't have a solution that is a win-win-win, I don't operate. This is not the way I do business. And so I've had so many people who wanted to collaborate, but I saw no way that my attendees would win. So therefore I didn't do it. Okay. So here's kind of the nuts and bolts. You only teach 3 points. Okay. And you want to see yourself as a teacher. You're not a salesman. You're not a business owner. You are teaching somebody a skill set, a system, a solution to that one problem. And you're going to give a lot of checklists to them. You can call them worksheets if you want to, but that's kind of an outdated term. You can say, that's why they say printables, because for some reason, when you say worksheets, people think of fluorescent lights, rows of desks, pencils, number 2 pencils, and exams. But if you say participants, we have printables, that's a little bit easier on people. Okay. So you want your participants to do the work. That's the other thing. So you're going to teach maybe 20 minutes. You're only going to take 20 minutes to do kind of like what I'm doing with you right now, where we're going through a slide deck or whatever. You're going to open it up and say, are there any questions? And if somebody kind of jumps the ship, like is going in a direction much faster than you want, you're like, I'm going to get to that in just a minute. I'm going to get to that in just a minute. And then you walk through your system. The other thing is, you want your participants not only to do the work, but you want them to accomplish the objective that you have set for them in 90 minutes. Okay. And I've had a few situations where we had people come on that had some sort of cognitive difficulties that they could not finish it in 90 minutes. What I ended up doing was I set up a second time and of convenience. And I said, since you guys haven't finished, I'll set up a second time. And that was the origin of the Open Friday Coffee. The very first one that I ever ran was because we ran long. So I started doing Open Friday Coffees. Anytime we didn't finish a project or whatever, I'd say, come to Open Friday Coffee. If you can't, ask me your questions right now. I'll answer them and I'll put the answers up on YouTube. And so those are ways that you can take care of everybody and at the same time not mess up your schedule too much. The other one is give the registration links for future meetings. The reason I say that is whenever you have new, like if you have open office hours like this, where you're talking to your students, what have you, your participants of the past, definitely make sure that before you finish, with the workshop, that you give them the registration link in the chat for the next one. That way they click it, they have a sense of feeling of security that even if they weren't able to finish, they were able to have you in their world. So I ended up started teaching people how to run a workshop. I started doing a 90-minute workshop on how to do a 90-minute workshop, and it was a lot of fun. We don't have time for that right now. And so what I'm going to do is share with you the landing page for this. I'm not trying to sell you. I want you to read the landing page to reinforce what I've already taught you here. If you want to get the recording, that's fine. But really what I want is I wasn't able to take that landing page and put it in slides fast enough for today. So you can go to the landing page. Sean will put it in the chat where I literally show you screenshots of this is what you do on Facebook and this is how you tell people you're going to build a workshop and all that kind of stuff. It's called Planned Profitability, and it's all about making the sale, because as business owners, I don't care if it's because you have a book business or just a business owner, if you're not making a profit, you're not in business. If you're not making sales, and a lot of people get into marketing first instead of sales, and you will hear me just chant on that: sales first, then marketing. Okay. You're welcome to work with me if you want to at some point in the future, but really, I just want to share with you that gift. And what is it that we're doing in the future? For 2024, we're going to open up Authorpreneurs HQ. It became evident to me that a lot of authors out there are not profitable. And they see their book business as kind of a hobby, and it is a money drain. And so, what I'm doing is setting up Authorpreneurs HQ, where we're going to teach you how to get your readers that you want, how to get the revenue you want, and how to increase your repertoire so that you can be a profitable author. Am I going to promise you Amazon #1 bestseller list? No. Am I going to promise you that you're going to be on the New York Times bestseller list? No, but I am sorry. Sorry, Rich. But what I am going to promise you is that your business will stay profitable, you will stay out of debt, and you will grow organically. And then we will teach you about marketing. But first, sales, then marketing. Okay, so that's what Entrepreneurs HQ is. Now, if you're one of my podcasters, which by the way, see a few podcasters in the house, great to have you. Podcasters Playground Conference, that's coming up on February 22nd. Sean will put that link in the chat as well. Podcasters Playground, what's all that about? Guess what? How to be a profitable podcaster. Do you see a theme here with Janine? It's all about sales. And you're like, but I'm a podcaster. And we're going to be like, this is how you generate revenue. We will be discussing that for you. Lastly, I just wanted to say thank you to all you lovely people who signed up for the You're on Mute cards. This was a kooky little project that I had. Oh, thank you guys. Everybody's holding up their signs. This started during the pandemic, where, we were on Zoom so much, and I just wanted, I hold up these little signs and I just gave them up for free. You're not part of a funnel. You don't have to worry about me hammering you with anything. I just wanted to, kind of give you a little joyful something. And it was really great because people were like, oh my gosh, I have good mail. And so I ended up doing these campaigns, these direct mail campaigns, and I started teaching people in their cards, because you can open these things up to like 3 levels. So I have these campaigns on cards where I send out, they're actually little direct mail courses, if you will. Remember back in the day when you wanted to learn something, you had to do a mail order course? Maybe that's just me. Anyway, so I just wanted to let you know, I kind of took that and I would send out these cards. Anyway, that's kind of a fun little gig that we do. So if you're interested in getting your very free, you will not be put in a funnel, you will not be hammered. Sean will put in the chat, you're on mute. And I just wanted to say thank you for making this year so sweet. Every Open Friday coffee, people have been so sweet. We have enjoyed you very much. And you know how I have a predisposition for hot cocoa and candy canes. And this is like totally my time of year. And now I will stop talking and we'll open it up for everybody and just say, I just wanted to say thank you so much for everything you guys have done for me, because as we hit the end of the year, it's been an absolute delight having most of this year with you. So for starters, we have a few people who I know are having events and are doing amazing things. And so we're going to kind of go into this order. First, we're going to go with Deborah, and then we're going to go with Mark, and then we're going to have our 1-minute tech tip with Matt, because I know he has to get back to work. I see that John, you're with us, and Mike, you're with us, and Nancy, and Marjorie, and Judy. We'll all get to everybody. Everybody will have an opportunity to talk. But I know that some people have emailed me ahead of time. And so, Deborah, I'm sorry. I know you have other things you need to be doing. Thank you for waiting as I went through the slide deck. Talk to us about what you are doing and how can we help you today?
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. And I just love how you are full of gratitude and how you share that. We are sisters that way. I think it's amazing. And congratulations for working together for over 20 years. That
Oh,
takes a lot of love, patience, and synergy. So I just love that. Thank you for what you're doing.
you bet.
My friend, I would like to ask you, are you wanting me to talk about the 262 project?
I do because I know some
Okay.
people may be of interest to it. And if you can
Yeah.
do that, the thing is we don't necessarily pitch on Open Friday Coffee.
No,
It's
no,
more
no.
invite. Oh, of course not. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're that way too. We invite people to things. And the thing is if you could say it in 15 to 20 seconds or less. Yes, go.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are hosting the largest International Women's Day speakership and authorship event that's ever been put together. It is for women and those that support women. It is 22 summits and a book of 262. You are invited to come and fill up your cup and meet other people that are doing cool things once a month until March 8th. And then it's once a week for 10 weeks. Come play.
Thank you so much, Deborah. I love it when people know exactly what I need, and I appreciate that. Please put the contact information in the chat for us. And you're welcome to hang around and ask questions and be with us if you'd like. But the other thing about Open Friday Coffee is come when you can, leave when you have to. And that's why I always let people know who's next on coming up on the chats and everything. So yeah, Mark, how's it going? What can we do? How can we help you?
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I was waiting for my sign to go up, but it's okay.
You know, people actually will delay now because they'll see me reach for the
that's
sign.
what I was
They
trying to do, but I
delay
said
so that
no.
I can go. You guys are great.
Yeah, things are just moving amazing. Things are for the Reset It program. It's just been a beautiful year. The last
Good.
6 months has just been beautiful. So
Mhm.
I'm a happy camper.
Okay. Well, for those of you who may not know, Mark is one of these amazing people that in 90 minutes, if you have some sort of a roadblock, a mental, psychological, or emotional roadblock, he can reset you in 90 minutes. I used to say 90 seconds, and he always, he always said, it takes a little longer than that,
I'm
Janine.
I'm good, but not that good.
I'm not that good. And what I loved is he came to us, he came to Open Friday Coffee saying, I'm looking for trainers. Do you know of anybody who wants help with training and that sort of thing? And so if you have a need or a desire and you're willing to kind of sit here and play with us for the Open Friday Coffee and you're not going to pitch at us, we're more than happy to support your business, especially if we know of people in our communities that are looking for certain opportunities. Okay, we'll be glad to do that for you. So we stop at this time and we take a pause, and we happen to have with us the wonderful Matt Roseman, who is my tech guy. Okay, so Mark and I have been around for a long time. And he's been trying to drag me into the 21st century with a new Mac Studio, and I resisted with much vehemence because I was very happy with my computer, and I waited till it slowed down to a turtle crawl, and then I went, "All right, Uncle, I will buy a Mac Studio." And so, let me tell you, when I used to get a new computer, it used to be very simple, plug and play. You know, put the two cords together, usually RS-232, or they got an RSB or what have you. And now it's not that simple anymore, not with what I do. And so when you get a new computer and you're befuzzled, please call Matt. All right, Matt, take it away. What's our 1 minute tech tip today, hon?
All right, I'll take it away, but is it like a UPS tracking number that I could have as well? So
ET phone home, light your finger,
exactly.
baby. You'll be
Actually,
fine.
I have a lot to say. First of all, I want to give some shout outs before I get started. Thank you to Lynette, Brian, Tasha, Eugene, Jeff, and Chuan for running this. Without your kindness and generosity, this would not be possible. I also love to give out a shout out to Nancy. Her and I had just recently started to collaborate, and like Eugene, I helped her set up a Mac Studio. Well, guess what? She's going to help me get back into the 21st century with my SEO. So,
Bravo.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, to learn something brand new. and pull a Star Trek and boldly go where I haven't gone before.
Oh,
So
well done. Well done.
yeah.
Bravo.
The other thing I want to do is I want to give a shout out to John Chen. I invited this man onto the chat. He's a very talented and gifted, virtual meeting guru. I mean, the guy has more screens than, basically a TV store, and he's very talented in terms of what he does. And he was kind and generous enough to have me on his podcast, where I tortured this man for 50 minutes, being myself, being as dorky as I could, uncensored as hell. And if you want naughty nights with nerdy spice, let me know. I'll send you the Zoom Top podcast. So
why don't you just put it in the chat? Just put
right,
that in the chat. When you guys have crazy stuff that you're doing and you're not asking anybody to buy something, you're doing it for free. Just put it in the chat. I don't mind it at all.
I'm gonna warn you now, it is not safe for work.
Okay.
So,
Do not be watching this.
If you get sight from the tri-state area, do not watch this. You have been forewarned. So with that being said, I have a tech tip with a holiday twist. So you're all familiar with the guy behind me, but what you don't know about him is Santa is the original OG pimp. OG meaning original gangster, for those of you who don't know. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, Matt, how do you know this? I'll tell you how I know this. Around this time every year, he has at least 3 hoes. He does. And so for him, Santa knows that he's going through his hoe phase right now. This is why he's so jolly and merry in the picture behind me, because he knows pimping ain't easy. He knows this. So the other thing that is going to be so easy, guys, is getting a new Apple Watch. As of Christmas, Apple is going to ban the sales of the Ultra Watch 2 and the Series 9 because of a legal dispute with their blood monitoring system. So if you really want one, guess what? You're going to have to band together. Otherwise, you're going to need to watch out. So that is what's going on for now. The last thing I want to say is I wish everybody a healthy, happy, and prosperous new year and all the best for 2024. Thanks, guys. I'll put my information in chat. You want to reach out, I'll be more than happy to talk to you. Thanks again, Janine.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate the 1-minute tech tip. Also, one of my favorite stories is to do with NORAD, and I put it in the chat. It's Santa's tracking system where you can track Santa. For all of you out there, I know there's several of you listening. You're like me. You're a brat. Our family was military. We were all over the world. And one of the things that happened was that NORAD originally was supposed to be a super secret, you can't find us sort of thing. And they would track, stuff happening around the atmosphere, what have you. Well, somebody happened to find their phone number by accident and called in, and one of the generals actually answered the phone, and they said, "Do you know where Santa is?" That's what he heard. "Do you know where Santa is?" And he thought for a moment. He goes, "Why, yes, we do." And he is currently, and he came out with some, anyway, that started a tradition where pretty soon other people managed to get the so-called top secret phone number and were asking where Santa was, and NORAD started tracking Santa on New Year's Day. Now, how do I know about all this? Well, when I was in the Bahamas and when my dad was also stationed in a small island off the southern tip of Japan, we would listen to AFN, Armed Forces Network, and AFN would tell us about where Santa was and where it was being tracked. So NORAD has been a part of my life, and I wanted to share that little bit with you because every year my kids are used to me putting on the computer, and we have and you hear the jingle bells as NORAD is tracking Santa around the globe, and it's gotten to be quite the thing. So anyway, just had to share that because it's a little bit of my childhood. So for all of you who understand NORAD, AFN, I just wanted to say a salute. Thank you for your service. Okay. Thank you, John. I appreciate you doing that for us. And so with that, John, how about you come on and say hello, and we'll just kind of go around the horn. And it's wonderful to have you on Open Friday Coffee.
Thank you so much. And thanks again to Matt Roseman. This is my first time here, so I'm the newbie guy on the block. And yes, I put the interview on there. It is funny. Matt Roseman said he had never turned that red during an interview himself.
to basically to the point where I could have tried out for a mall Santa.
So author of a book called Engaging Virtual Meetings, and I have my own company where I spend the majority of my time designing, producing, speaking at, and emceeing virtual and hybrid meetings. And Matt didn't work on this. I actually did this all by myself. So this is actually the setup I'm in front of right now.
Oh, lovely. You look like the Starship Enterprise, man. Love it.
I'm
Love your
tracking all
screens.
the Santas in all the world right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. And so, John, are you familiar with Podcasters Playground at
No,
all? No?
that's what Matt brought me.
You're our kind of people. So go ahead and just sign up. What you'll get is a couple of emails. Jeff and I are building stuff out now, and we will not be hammering you. We don't, Jeff and I do not believe in, you're either interested or you aren't. We send you information. Feel free to unsubscribe at any time, but this is going to be the first one. The Podcasters Playground is all about helping people be profitable. And so we would love to have you with us on that, and we can talk later about details. But Sean, if you would be good enough to put the link down for people, that would be great. But anytime I have anybody who is assisting us, because podcasters have a challenge, we now have YouTube. We now have streaming services. We are now seen. I don't know about you, but one of the biggest jokes we used to have in radio was, I have a face for radio, right? I have a face for radio. And I used to say that to people. They'd call in to the radio show and tell me how beautiful they thought I was. I'm like, oh, honey, I have a face for radio. Thank you so much. You know, that's how I said things. Now I can't say that anymore. And so we need people like John Chen. Thank you for being with us. Is there anything specific we can help you with?
I launched my podcast this year. I've actually now up to episode 150. So I did put a link inside of there. And
Okay.
for those who want to be a guest on a podcast, just like our good friend Matt here, this is how I made it easy. I just put a link in here, click interview, and love to have you on so we can find other podcasters here. Otherwise, thanks for the invitation. I look forward to learning more.
Okay. And so Lynette, I'm going to ask you to click on that link. If you wouldn't mind, get the thing and then send it to Tasha, because John just opened the mic up to me and I'm like, oh, sign me up. I am so there. We will definitely be there. Anybody who has a podcast and says, I'm looking for guests, I go, can I show up? I have a media kit too, I promise. So it'll be easy to work with you. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Yes, Sean, you had a question.
We got it addressed. Lynette took care of the link, so we're good.
Okay. Okay. All is well. All right. And so thank you everyone for kind of, as we go through, we're going to go through the horn here, and Nancy, I haven't forgotten about you or Mike, but I'm going to ask our new people since we started with John. So we're going to start with Marjorie and then Judy. And so Marjorie, tell us a little bit about yourself and what can we do to help you? How can we help you with your business or whatever you're working on?
Oh, thank you. I'm pretty sure it was Robbie Samuels who sent me over here. And I'm mostly just watching and listening. I write, I'm an author, and I also book coach, help authors to write their own books. And while you were talking about podcasting and workshops, I got the idea about, just got something from a client when I was saying, generalizations, you're writing way too much generalization. And he came back and said, well, when you generalize, you do this and that. And I said, no. And I had to give him some examples. It occurred to me that might be a workshop if anybody is writing things and people are saying, well, this doesn't make sense, or, you're being too general. And what would make that different? And I feel like I sent him stuff and he came right back and said, oh my goodness, that's so helpful.
Mm-hmm.
That when you said it, take one idea, how you make that 90 minutes. I would love for any kind of ideas, encouragement,
Okay.
I look for specifics.
Right.
So
First of all, couldn't have yourself more perfectly positioned for 2024. And this is why. One of the things I'm seeing as a copywriter, because, we've written 17 books, right? But I have somebody here with us, Jeff Broshawa, who puts me to shame. I used to think I wrote fast. I'm a turtle next to this guy. But the thing is, you are perfectly positioned, because what is the problem with ChatGPT? ChatGPT gives you things in a very generalized way, and everybody's just like spitting out all this content. And I can tell a ChatGPT article immediately because there's absolutely nothing specific. I can tell AI has written it, right? Because there are no specific action items. There's no way. And so, Marjorie, you are the person that could definitely write a 90-minute workshop where you are teaching people how to differentiate themselves from the noise and how to differentiate yourself from AI by writing. You start with AI. You know, AI is very helpful at creating that structure. I mean, I use it all the time. ChatGPT, I'm on it 4 or 5 times a day. But I then put in the 35 years of education that this brain has in it. And I specifically hit, people want specifics. People are craving knowledge, right? They don't want just data. And so I see your
Right.
90-minute workshop being how to differentiate yourself from AI when you're writing.
Ooh, ooh,
Okay.
all right.
Does that help?
It helps a lot. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Go make a lot of money with that, would you? And then when you've done all of that, then come back to me and then we'll move you to the next level, right?
So differentiate your writing.
How to
from
differentiate your writing from AI, or so you come up, play around. You're a wordsmith, all right? And then when you have 4 or 5 ideas for a title, come back to Open
Mhm.
Friday Coffee at the beginning of the year. Come back and then say, hey, I got these 4 ideas. And as business owners, we'll let you know which ones we like.
Well,
How's
that
that
would be
sound?
great. Thank
And,
you so much.
Go ahead,
Nadine,
Mark.
At the same time, is that majority, just take an hour session or half an hour session with Janine. It's well worth the money. When I first started, I took a session with her, and it just changed the way that you can look at things. And take a look at spending some time with her, and she'll put you in the right direction.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
Uh,
Thanks for that testimonial. Oh my
the
gosh.
check is going to be in the mail. Is that what you told me?
Right, that's right. That 20%'s on its way.
Thank you. I'll keep
It's-
listening.
It's
Venmo
worth.
is quicker.
The thing is that it's costing you more not to see her. Just put it that way.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And one of the things I like to chat about, Mark and Jeff, is there are NAFTA team. There are Canadians that show up and say hi and everything. And I know Mark doesn't like me saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. They have to pay more for me because of the US Canadian dollar right now. And so the show, so just wanted to let you-
Even in Canadian dollars, it's worth it.
Right.
So-
Thank you. You guys are awesome. Okay. Judy, you're up next. How can we help you, dear?
Oh, well, first, I just want to say we're an Air Force family and we were
Oh.
stationed in Colorado Springs. So I loved seeing all of the pictures there. That was great about Colorado, made me homesick for it. And thank you so much for the kick in the butt to remind me that I'm in business to make money.
You're
And
welcome.
that's been a real shift. I have 22 books on Amazon. I
Woo.
have, I've spoken internationally. I have all of this stuff, but I don't have money coming in. And the reason I don't is because in my mind, I said, okay, I'm creative, but I'm not a marketer. And what you have said this morning about this is a business. You're in business to make money. And just recently, I was on a webinar or something, and the woman said she had this sign, you can pick my brain right after you pick the payment method. And so I wrote it down and I thought, of course, I am so used to being this wonderful do-gooder that I give away years of research and study for nothing. And so thank you. I certainly see how when I wrote down the difference between the webinar and the workshop, it clicked very, very good for me. My question, Janine, is I have recognized on some of your things that I've done is that you put your courses on Rizuku, which is where I'm putting my courses now. But I want to know, how do you market? You say you have 93 courses. How do you market that many
Okay.
courses?
I don't, I sell them. I sell
Oh, thank you.
them. You're welcome.
Yeah, course. Of course. I should have said, how do you give away that many courses?
So,
Okay.
all right. In all honesty, Always think of yourself as a salesman. You're a salesman. Are you a greedy salesman? No. Are you sleazy? Absolutely not. You define what kind of salesman you are. I am a heart-based salesman. I have so much stuff that is free that if somebody says, I don't have the money, I actually send them this book for free, How to Ditch Your Debt and Bank Your Bucks. And then there's a free online course. So I have free. Like, oh, if you can't afford me, here's how you go about getting your financial house in order. They don't like the message. That's not my problem. They're not my people if they're not willing to invest in themselves or if they have themselves in that situation. Now, we know that there are 5 ways that you can go into debt that are not your fault. Number 1 in the United States is medical expenses. There are
Oh.
things that can write. Okay, so I don't blame people. I'm just saying you can't afford me right now, but it took me 35 years to get where I am. Ergo, you need to pay for that. However, I'm not going to leave you in a lurch. Here, start using this and then go to, and then I refer them to other places where they can, who's the guy that's like Walmart? He does Financial Peace University, Dave Ramsey. Dave
Right.
Ramsey, he's like the Walmart of get your act together with finances when you've had a devastating financial experience. So please realize that refer people out and refer to other people. Their free stuff, and encourage them to get their financial house in order. And then you will be happy to help them when they're ready to move on to the next step. Okay. So that's how I handle those people. And as Jeff Bourgeois likes to say, they're not our people. They're just not my people. I don't deal with those people because there are other high quality teachers. Like, do I want to run out right now and make a 90-minute course on how to not sound like an AI when I'm writing? No, I'm going to refer people to Marjorie as soon as she gives me the link. I'm going to be like, hey, yeah, Marjorie's got this on lock. She's excited about it. The idea came to her. Are you kidding me? I don't want to have to teach that. I'm too busy teaching my own stuff, right? So there's nobody here on Open Friday Coffee in competition with the other, because the way we teach stuff, even if it's the same silly thing, I'm a book coach, but am I a book coach like Marjorie is? Absolutely not. So I'm going to find out more about Marjorie so I can promote her stuff. So when people come to me and they're not my people, I can send them to Marjorie. Same thing with you, Judy. All right.
Correct.
So when you have that all figured out, come back to Open Friday Coffee at the beginning of the year. We'll start working you.
All right. I love that. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much. And I have seen you sign up for the Rasuku courses, and I look forward to seeing more of you. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. And then next we have Mike. Mike, my dear friend,
All
how
right,
are
hello,
you?
hello.
You've
I
been
am
signing
so-
up for Razuku as well. Your name's
I
come
just-
by a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah, I signed up for it. I was like, what is all this? I checked it. Oh my, bing, 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 bing. My computer lit up, the lights came on, everything was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, first comment, I like book cover number 3.
Okay.
The others are more creative. The others are more creative and artistic, but this one tells me what the book is about and why I should buy it.
Okay.
I want to make a quick comment. I love what Marjorie does. You know, these LinkedIn articles, when you get to contribute, these articles are written by AI.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one who calls them out on that. This article was written by AI and nobody should agree with it. I think I'm the only one. So I'm glad to see somebody's running a professional service to distinguish that. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
On
You
the
want to stand,
speaking-
yeah. Want to stand out in 2024? Yeah, definitely use AI, use it. Oh my gosh, it's fabulous. But then put your secret sauce in there.
Mhm.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think about Christmas movies as always the debate is Die Hard a Christmas movie. For a while, the Star Wars movies were Christmas movies too for a little while. I think about episode 3. Obi-Wan figures out that Anakin's turned to the dark side because Anakin says, "You're either with me or against me." And then Obi-Wan says, "Anakin, only the Sith speaks in absolutes." And guess what? That is an absolute term. Are you contradicting yourself when you speak? People say things like death by PowerPoint, but not when I do it. And they'll give you 5 reasons why their PowerPoint is not really death by PowerPoint. And sometimes you'll hear, the first time I ever learned the term didactic is when somebody said, "I am not didactic." And then they went on to give a perfect example of what didactic is. When I talk and you listen and you have absolutely zero function in this presentation. That is going to be my latest. I'm probably not going to do that for Christmas week, but that'll be one of my next upcoming LinkedIn series is on people who contradict themselves in speaking. So I would pay attention to anytime you make a bold declaration in your speaking, are you contradicting yourself by using that terminology? If
Oh,
you pay
and can you
attention.
put your LinkedIn? You're so kind. You almost never put your stuff in. Please put your
Oh,
LinkedIn in the chat so that we can follow your articles, because
of
if nothing
course.
else, what we can do is just put a like or a thumbs up. If you see somebody that's Open Friday Coffee comes across your LinkedIn feed, just hit a like, help them out a little bit. We'd appreciate that. Go ahead, Sean.
Hello, do we happen to have a link for the Rizuku platform for Miss Marjorie?
Marjorie, which course are you interested in? I have 93, and so they all have separate links.
I just don't even know what the platform is.
Oh, for
The
Rizuku?
basic yeah.
Rizuku, hang on, let me type it out for you.
Oh, thank
See
you.
if this works. It is a learning platform. It is old school. I was one of the original beta testers back in 2013, 14. And it became the new wave. And then now you have Kajabi and Teachable, and you got all these others that are out there. But Rizuku, to me, is a little bit more intuitive, and it's easier to use because it didn't try to go big. It tried to help people teach. They were set up by teachers. Yeah. So
Great, thank you.
yeah, you bet. Okay. So Mike, was there anything else you wanted to share or ask? Can we help you in some way other than
Well,
like
certainly.
saying like this guy, obviously not written by AI?
Yeah, certainly liking and commenting. Somebody gave me a great tip. You've got to put your own image on your LinkedIn posts. And ever since I started doing that, my engagement's been raising just like that. Earlier this week, I've got a picture of me holding a rabbit. I got my cat on my shoulder at the same time. And I tell you, people just jump at it. There's no shame in being shameless and just putting whatever it takes to get the attention. I thought I was just outsmarting everybody by being an intellectual with stock photos. Now put cheesy personal family pics up there. If it gets the traffic, it gets the traffic. So
Wonderful.
feel free to follow suit.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your tips. I appreciate it. Mike is working on storytelling. He and I are going to be working next year together. We don't know how yet. That's one of the things I like about Open Friday Coffee is people are like, I like you, I want to work with you. And sometimes it'll take us almost a year to figure out how best to work with each other. So thank you for continuing to come, and we'll do what we can to promote and support you as well. Okay, cool. All right. Nancy Fields, how are you, my friend? How is the website business? What's cooking with you?
Well, thank you. And it was your inspiration. I gave another 90-minute workshop on Tuesday.
Oh, congratulations.
And this one was on how to search so that you can get better blog and article titles that people want to read and that Google will find you. And one of the people who attended was an author, and she's a best-selling author. I think she's got 6 books out now. And she said, you know, I need to put you in touch with my publisher. There's a lot of authors who need to learn from you, who need to know how to post a blog so that it gets found. So I thought, okay. And she says, now contact her in mid-January. So I would love to know from you, how is the best way? What information should I give someone the first time I'm contacting them about, and of course, and I've also been referred, but something specific as to, I can teach your authors how to post, and it's a 90-minute webinar. And this is, should I go into what would be covered? How much information should I give them?
Right. This is a common mistake we very excitable business owners have. It's that relationship marketing thing. We need to do it with our collaborators as well. So this publisher doesn't know you. One of her authors has referred you. So the best way to handle this is to go back to your author and say, I need a referral and I need you to do it via email. And that way, because I don't know about anybody else, but how many of you guys have received the emails of, I've been referred by so-and-so, and you check so-and-so before you start talking to this person and find out so-and-so has no idea who they are. They just found out they found out Janine Bolin on LinkedIn was also a friend of this other guy, and they basically barely knew him. And so that's why I recommend that they refer to your publisher and CC you. And then that way It gives a lot more credence. And then you don't say, hey, I can help your authors. What you do is you come on and you go, hi, so-and-so, so-and-so, you know, this author referred me to you. What's going on for you in your 2024? How can I help you? What is your biggest pain point right now? Or you don't have to say pain point, but what's the biggest project you got going on that you need help with? Because you are sitting there focused on your 90-minute workshop when the publisher may have a much bigger problem that you can solve and will be a larger contract. But if you go in with a salesperson perspective, instead of a, hi, I'm a friend of a friend, how can I help you perspective, you may not be able to have as high a level of sales. Now, is it all about the money? You bet your bibby it is. I try to leverage as much money as I possibly can with every relationship I have. But is it the same as trying to milk them? No, I'm not trying to milk somebody. I'm trying to give them value added and get them to their goals by saving them money, saving them time, saving their knowledge, and most importantly, saving their sanity. Those are my 4. You see that on the Janine Boland show. We talk about how we save your time, save your money, save your sanity, save your knowledge, right? And for you, when you go to approach somebody like this in relationship marketing, yeah, I want to leverage as much money as I possibly can out of Jeff Bourgeois. But at the same time, he's also a friend. So I'm going to make sure he's making money too, right? And the people we're serving, we're saving their time, saving their money, saving their knowledge, saving their sanity. So that's how I would recommend that. There is a book that I highly recommend everybody put it on your reading list for 2024. It's an older book. You probably heard about it. It's called They Ask, You Answer. And what Nancy is talking about is exactly what is in that book. They ask, you answer. I wish I'd come up with it. It's a great book. The thing is how to drive content and people to your website by answering your clients' questions. So the reason why these webinars are so powerful, why did I do so well? I did so well because every time I was asked a question, I wrote a very intense, very specific, thank you, Marjorie, article on it. And then I ran it by my SEO and my keyword team. And if you don't have a team, talk to Nancy. She will be your team. And you do it according to SEO and your keywords. And you do that for every single question you were asked. So right now, as a business owner, you should be able to tell me what are the top 5 questions that people ask you about your product or your service. What are the top 5? You got them in your head. Start writing them down, right? You write a 1,000 plus word article on that and post it to your website. And then when you have the time, sit in front of Zoom and answer the question on video. Okay, so some people say, well, I want to go do the video first, then I can take the transcript and I can write. I said, I don't care how you do it. My job is not to tell you how. My job is to give you the strategy, right? So do the strategy. Then you have the video up there. You have the entire article that's written. You have screenshots, whatever it is that you're answering. You do that for every question you get. You can't help but rank. Now, this process has been taught since 2009. Would you like to know how many people in their industry actually do it? 1%. 1%. So no matter what industry you're in, if you're a book coach, you're going to stand out. You're going to be that 1%. If you're Matt the tech guy, you're going to be the 1%. If you're John Chen and you're the rockin' awesome virtual meeting guy, you're going to be that 1%. I guarantee you, you do that for a year. And guess what? Your videos can look like crap. It doesn't matter. What people want is the information. They're not looking for the slick anymore. They're looking for people who are real and authentic. Okay. Sorry, I get on my soapbox. Help me down, dear. Okay. So, Rich, we need Rich and Jeff real quick. We got 3 minutes. Now, let me do a little bit of an introduction for Rich. Rich is my branding guy. Do you like the little splatters that I have here on Entrepreneurs HQ? You do? Thank you so much. I did those. Guess what? My market research says no. Looks like COVID viruses. And I'm like, oh, I really like my little guys. And so Rich is going to help me rebrand Entrepreneurs HQ because people think it's boogers. They think it's green. Yeah, they're like, the green's the problem. I'm like, I like green. Green's one of my favorites. Green and red. And no, Janine. Your market research has shown you that that's not happening. So he's going to help me rebrand Entrepreneurs HQ. Go, Rich. What do you have for us today, my friend?
Oh, crap. When you started saying that, I thought, oh, she's going to pin that on me.
No, it's me. Oh, come on now. You do a
I'm
better
kidding.
job
I'm
than that.
kidding. I'm kidding. All right, so I got to be quick. First of all, you talked about you bet your Bippy. First of all, it was when they talked about it, they said, "I bet you're sweet and sour Bippy." So I needed to just be about that. Second of all, I have an office mate who never says anything, complimented me yesterday on my gamer headphones. Okay.
No, Rocket Spider Hunters. Yeah, baby.
And
Uh-huh.
my background was this morning on my walk down to my office. All of a sudden, I saw a reflection, and I'm like, rainbow? And I looked up. It wasn't raining. It wasn't and nothing. But it was just this like. So I just had to point that out. That I just felt very blessed this morning on my walk down here. Branding tip very quickly because we're running out of time. If you're changing things, don't run it by a million people because you're gonna get designed by committee. You know, it's been said that a camel is a horse that was designed by committee. So keep it to your very 2 or 3 close people that I always say that a dear friend will stab you a true friend will stab you in the front. That's all I got.
Thank you very much, Rich. Sorry to make it so short for you and Jeff. Jeff is our networking guru. He's also the co-collaborator with Podcasters Playground. Podcasters are his people. He helps them get profitable by writing books on their episodes so they get a second revenue stream. He helps them do that. We work together. Go, Jeff.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Janine. Merry Christmas, everyone. I think the big thing I'd like to share today is Janine mentioned a media kit, and I can't tell you how much it helps me write a book if you know who you are. And I would say that when you go networking, you need to know who you are because the other people will not stop and figure it out. Just the exercise of doing the media kit, and Janine's got a great course on that. That helps you figure out who you are. So I strongly encourage you, even if you don't plan on doing a whole bunch of networking, do the media kit so that you can tell people who you are. Thanks, Janine.
And thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. So Rich and Jeff are here almost every Open Friday coffee, which is why I save them to last. And when we start getting a little crunch for time for everybody, it's the top of the hour. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking your Friday morning and being with us. I hope you learned something. I hope you took away something that will help you make money and sales. Go out, make money. We need your bright light in this world as a business owner. We'll see you guys in 2024. Take care now. Bye-bye.